Hi, this is Michelle Sam from Sammy Wong's Kitchen. Today I am going to be showing you how to make balanced breakfast balls. And my daughter introduced me to these protein balls when I visited her, and she makes her own, but she said you can buy them in stores. And when I went to the stores and had a store-bought protein ball, it was very chalky because of the addition of protein powder, and I didn't like them. But what I found was great about these protein balls is that they can actually be made to be on-the-go breakfast balls. So I came home and I decided to make a breakfast ball and wanted to make it not only with the ingredients that will make it very healthy, but also the process. So for my breakfast balls, I use as a binder, I don't use any kind of syrup, but I use prunes. And you can use either prunes or dates, and this will be the binder. I use the prunes instead of dates because it has a little less carb as well as less sugar. And if you are pre-diabetic, like me, that's what you should be doing. The other binder, in addition to this, if it's not sticky enough, is almond butter. And you could use peanut butter, but I just decided that I was going to use almond butter for that. Then, in addition to this as protein, we have almonds and walnuts that are our protein, as well as hemp seeds. So hemp seed has a lot of protein in it. I also include some carb, which actually helps with the binding, and that is the oatmeal. For all your omegas, I have added the following. I have flaxseed, as well as pumpkin seeds. And for the additional calcium and protein, I have the milk powder. Now, for flavoring, these are optional, but it just adds a little dimension to these balanced breakfast balls. I have unsweetened cocoa, and then I also have these coconut flakes. I love coconut, so that's additional flavor. And then these barberries. Now, these barberries are Middle Eastern berries, dried berries, and they are very tart. If you don't have barberries, you can use tart cherries. I just like the combination of sweet and sour and salty. So we need some salt, and then we need some vanilla extract. Now, as for the process, so if you use the whole dried fruit as well as your nuts and seeds, and you grind them when you make the balls, you are ensuring freshness as well as better taste because the oils haven't gone rancid. And you can also control the consistency of your nuts and your seeds, so you'll have the end product that you want. So let's get started. All right, so since I can control the consistency of my balanced breakfast balls, so for the nuts, it needs to be both a binder as well as you want some kind of nut texture. So you don't want all your nuts to be flour. So I'm going to take my nuts here. I'm going to combine my almonds as well as my walnuts, and I am going to grind them. All right. I ground up my nuts, and you can see that there's a combination of what I would call meal as well as particulate matter, and this is perfect because we want both. Okay, so I'm going to put this into my container here. The next thing I'm going to do is grind half of my oatmeal and all of my flax seeds, because flax seeds, as I said earlier, it's more nutritious to mill the flax seeds than unmilled, because what passes the entire whole flaxseed through our bodies. But if it's milled, our bodies have the ability to easily absorb the minerals and the omegas because of the milling process. All right. And I'm going to add this to my nut mixture. And now what I'm going to do is start creating my ball. So I'm going to add my prunes. Sometimes your fruit is a little too dry and it'll never get to that point because the hydration of that dried fruit is low. In that case, you'll just have to add more almond butter. All right. So now it's actually very pasty and sticky. So now what I'm going to do is start adding all the rest of my ingredients. First, I'm going to add my cocoa and my milk powder, and this will start combining so that it'll be less sticky. Okay, and you see that it's crumbly like this. It's crumbly, but it's still sticky. So now we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and a teaspoon of salt, my almond meal, and you can see it looks like this. Now, it looks so very crumbly, but then when you squeeze it, you can see it comes together. Now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of my almond butter, my hemp, and my coconut. I'm just adding these because I don't really care about the way it looks in the balls. I just need a quick way to combine them. And here you have your mixture. Now I'm going to put this all into a large bowl and then combine all these other ingredients that I don't want to have completely ground up. So here's your mixture. I'm going to add my pumpkin seeds, my barberries, and the rest of my oatmeal. Give this a good mix. And it looks very crumbly, but it'll form balls because it does have a lot of moisture. Okay, to form the balls, I usually take a cookie scoop just for measurement purposes. What you're going to do is put it into your palm of your hand and then squeeze it tight. And as you squeeze it, it'll compact and become a ball. And then you can add to it, kind of like a snowball, just grow your ball to the size that you want. And these are your balanced breakfast balls. Enjoy and bon appetit! More recipes can be found on sammywongsKitchen.com or social media. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks!